things.
Yes,
right?
there's something different on both
refined
things.
cut, or it's a little bit of extra stuff. So I like it.
Bonus content.
Exactly.
I like the bonus content.
But yeah, the way I'm thinking that would work is just like you hit the go live button, because like Twitch has this stuff.
I tried to do that last night too.
Oh, Twitch?
Yeah,
Twitch works pretty good, I think.
I'm so bad at this stuff, man.
But Twitch has a lot of Twitch is definitely more for people doing something a little more interactive with the audience.
Yeah.
Whether it's playing a video game.
Well, that's what I was going to try to do.
And yeah, Twitch makes it pretty easy to play your video game and capture it.
But does it do the screen grab though?
Yeah. And
how? I don't. Obviously, you have to do that through PC or through desktop. Usually,
they have a desktop program. Twitch does that does a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it'll do the picture-in-picture at least.
Okay.
And it has like mod stuff built into it. And but like usually the people I watch on Twitch, they've got a starting screen that sits up for about 10 minutes. So they hit like I'm going live, and then they kind of get everything set up, and then boom, it's on.
See, I was trying last night to do. I play this pool game on my phone, 8-ball pool, and I've always, it's like the even before Clash of Clans, that was the game that I played every day.
Yeah.
And now I only play it every now and again, but I'm stupid good at it.
Yeah.
And I just run the table on people left and right. And I really wanted to do just a screen grab of the pool table and just me playing pool like on Twitch, but I don't know how to do that on mobile.
Yeah.
Or that you can. So yeah, I don't know. Is right.
Because when I've done some mobile platform programming, there are like phone emulators that you can use, but I don't know that they connect online. Or if you can, I guess you could, but it'd be different. You'd be clicking on it on your computer.
Yeah.
But like the Android SDK thing's got every kind of Android phone built into it. It's pretty huge, the file is.
Damn Androids.
And there's an Apple one too. And it'll emulate the phone like it's just like the phone's on there.
Huh.
And that way you can like test your application on the phone.
Okay.
But I guess you could log in on the phone to your accounts and play the games on the computer, and then you could screen grab it that way, but I don't know how well it would do it. Because I know people do Hearthstone, but that's on the computer too. I'm trying to think of like what mobile games people play on Twitch or anything like that, but
I've noticed, I see a lot of, in the Discord channel with the Small Beans people, like a lot of people go live on Twitch, and it'll be like, obviously this camera feed plus a screen grab.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's like the going rate and probably the easiest way to do those things.
Yeah, and then the more advanced people put a little green screen behind themselves, and it blends into the game, so it just looks like it's them in the chair.
Yeah.
Those look nice.
That's what Adam and Tyler are telling me to do, is just get a green screen and hang a green screen behind me, which is most of the reason why I moved the piano over here instead of behind me.
Yeah. That could work.
Yeah. Green screen back there, and it'd just be the telescopes pointing at the...
Yep.
Of course. See, I'm so lazy, I'm thinking about not having to move the telescopes now. It's like, yeah, I'm down with that. All right, well, let's. I've got everything shared out on the interwebs, and you don't have the Facebook, so it cannot tag you in the things. But
you could tag me on Instagram, but I don't use that either.
I tag you on Instagram pretty good bit. Or not a pretty good, but every time we've done an episode, I've tagged you on Instagram.
Yeah, Megan saw one. She said, "Hey, look, it's you." I said, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, you're right.
That is me.
You were correct. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get some audio on here. There's some bonus content for you YouTube people. See,
Yeah.
you hear how that peaked a little bit when bonus.
Bonus.
So it peaked a little bit on that whenever we're talking, and I get a little worried that it does that on the YouTube, but so I backed off on the volume a little bit. But with speaking, it's a lot different than with singing. Like when somebody sings and it's like peaking, or there's an instrument that's peaking, sounds a lot worse than when there's vocal like just speaking. Speaking and peaking.
Speaking and peaking. Speaking of peaking, Peking duck is pretty good.
Peking duck.
I don't know. I don't actually
Eat duck.
Mm-mm.
Why not?
A little ducky. A little gamey.
It's a little gamey. I like duck.
I haven't had duck in a while. Just because the only time I ever eat duck, it's like it's too fancy. Someone makes it too fancy.
How often do you go to Charleston?
Oh, almost never.
Okay, that's good because Charleston is awful. But and I'm sorry, Charleston. I apologize. I'm just not a fan of your town. I had a lot of bad memories tied with Charleston. Anyway, I went to this place called the Tattooed Moose in Charleston, and they have like this duck confit.
Yeah, there's one.
It's like a, what is it called? What do they call it? They definitely have duck fat fries. When they make fries out of duck fat, which is just so bad for you, but so fucking delicious.
Well, most things cooked in anything's fat are probably pretty good. I don't know if it'd be good. Like, is it going to be good cooked in my fat? I don't know, aliens. You tell me later. When
They probably already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did not plan on starting off talking about the Duck Club, I think it's called. It's a club sandwich with duck.
Okay, yeah, and then like there's duck l'orange, which is just orange duck.
Ooh.
And then Peking duck, Peking is another name for Beijing, I believe. It used to be
Spicy.
the capital.
Spicy duck.
I think it's just spicy. Yeah.
Spicy duck. That's a spicy duck.
Greta the tittle tattle prattled on about the little metal bottle.
Nope. Not trying that. Not playing that game.
Okay.
So, I had, upon falling asleep last night, I had this grand idea, and I almost texted you, but I was like, I will not forget this. So we Brother Patrick here, ladies and gentlemen, by the way,
Hey.
has agreed to talk about both of our collective favorite things.
Yes.
And we initially started talking about just entertainment and movies, and I did watch all of the comic book movies, by the way, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But
I figured we didn't want to talk about them back to back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly.
But that could last a whole episode too.
Indeed.
Because there was a lot of good ones, and there's some stinkers, but the stinkers aren't that bad, I don't think.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, even there was contextual information in each movie that you need to.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Like,
Yeah.
you could BS your way through it and still enjoy it,
Yeah, for sure.
but they build on each other, and
Yep.
it makes it more enjoyable to watch each one, and it makes you look forward to any of them coming out, which
Yep.
I think they just knocked it out of the park on that bullshit marketing strategy.
The way that they finished the last one that I watched was fantastic.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's nothing in this world better than Harry Potter.
That's a bold statement.
IMO. As a matter of fact, I went on a rant on Facebook for a very long time before I started watching Star Wars about how Harry Potter was greater than Star Wars. A lot of people were like, dude, you're crazy, man. You're stupid. You just didn't get Star Wars when it was new. And I was like, yeah, well, you just didn't get Harry Potter when it was new.
Yeah, that's true, too. A lot of people, and myself included, came on, I came on fifth book.
Okay.
That's when the fifth book released, I used all of the food money and book money for like the bookstore when I was at the university. I used it all to buy all the Harry Potter books. And I just sat in my bed reading all of them.
Dude.
Like, you're supposed to be going out and like drinking and having a good time. I'm like under the covers trying not to bother my roommate in this little tiny dorm room reading Harry Potter. I'm like, oh, this shit's good.
With the light?
Yeah. I'm like Harry Potter doing the fucking spells under the covers. And
Lumos Maxima.
Yeah. After I read fucking Azkaban, I was like, this shit's great.
So good. Like, there's no holes in the storyline.
No.
Like, zero. I've never found any. But
I got one, but we can go over it when we get there.
Where is it?
It's, I'll say 2.
My sinuses are killing me. I'm going to be sniveling and clearing my throat a lot, so heads up on that.
Wrong. And I would say there's 2. One of them has to do with the Thestrals.
Yeah.
And one of them has to do with Colin Creevy's little brother.
Oh, with the...
Yeah.
Oh, no, Colin was the camera guy.
Colin's the camera guy, but his little brother comes on later. And he goes to Hogsmeade in his second year. Can't do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
He's there at the meeting from the fifth book, Dumbledore Army meeting, and he's in his second year. He can't go to Hogsmeade.
Yeah, that's right. Dumbledore's army was a rebel group, though. Maybe he was just a bad seed.
Yeah.
Either way, though.
But very few minor, insignificant little... There's not a big, gaping plot hole that can't just be explained by, like, well, magic.
Yeah, well... Yeah, it is magic. I really dig, and I've told my sister Sarah, who's never watched Harry Potter and who's actually made a lot of fun of me for how much I like Harry Potter. And I'm like, you don't know, like, we are the same, and you don't know how much you're gonna regret talking all this shit after you watch these movies and realize, oh, he was right. They really are great. And
yeah, Will just make fun of me. Hi, Will.
Hey, Will. I asked Will, I was like, hey, man, you want to come and do the episode of the podcast? He was like, how much does it pay again?
Oh, my brother. I love him.
But, yeah, so we were talking earlier before we started rolling. Do we want to do like a deep dive into each individual book or movie, or do we kind of want to just do like a spoilers, by the way?
Yeah.
If you've not seen Harry Potter, there's spoilers ahead. So
yeah.
What do you think we should?
Well, how about, I don't know, maybe we just start talking about the first movie.
Okay.
See how far we are in to it in 15 or 30 minutes, and then make a decision, make an executive decision. Then
okay.
Can we? Are we almost at the end? Can we just glance over a couple, do the 3-parter?
Yeah, there you go. All right.
That
Good
way.
Call.
Yeah.
So, all right. I started reading the books around I think, once I saw The Order of the Phoenix, I think that was the last movie that I saw before I started reading the books, when I was just like, everybody was telling me, hey, you got to go back and read the book. So, I was very intrigued at how it all started out with just, it was very spooky for a kid, like, and I wasn't exactly a kid, but I remember thinking like, okay, so this is like one of those Goosebumps. It reminded me of the Goosebumps series. You know, the way that it started out, it was just kind of dark and the music was creepy and hooked me initially.
I was thinking, just non sequitur, but kind of related. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark was always a little creepier than the Goosebumps ones.
Yep.
At least how I remember them in my head. I was just talking about one of them last night with that little kid who's so cold. I am cold.
Oh man, never gets old. It's always creepy.
Melissa Joan Hart's in that. She's such a babe.
Dude, she was, man.
She
What is
still-
it with
she
the,
still is. She
What is it
still-
with the three named girls? Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yep. Although a lot of people say she looks like a horse. I don't buy into that. I think she's a very...
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, yeah.
Segway.
Emma Watson. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. I think that Luna Lovegood might have two names. Oh no, that's Ivana Lynch. Never mind. There's only one name. Doesn't matter.
Little cutie.
Yeah, she was my favorite. Yeah, so the way that it started out and everything just so dark and creepy, I was like, okay, I could see how this might freak out somebody at a young age. Just the way you see this random dude walking down a dark street, robbing the light.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I see that come in, I was like, okay, so this is a fun world to live in. And I think that's the most appealing part of the Harry Potter series is that it's a very fun world to live in.
Yes. I would agree. What is it called? The Lamplighter?
Deluminator.
Illuminator. There you go. Lamplighter. What am I thinking? So, yeah, you get little McGonagall cat with her eyeglasses onto the cat face.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, what's this cat doing? And then it turns into a lady in the shadow, and then out comes McGonagall, and I loved it.
Me too. Immediately, like I was enthralled immediately. Just the fact that this is not possible,
Yeah.
and I don't know. There was just nothing. There was nothing at that point to where I was in no way. And I'm the kind of person who will watch 10, 15 minutes and cut something off.
Sure.
Like I'm very much that. Like I do that all the time, especially with stand-ups. And I don't not that stand-ups it has anything to do with what we're talking about, but just train of thought. By the way, train of thought. If you watch the Inside Out, the Pixar thing,
Yeah.
hey,
For sure. I
watched
do
that
love
the
that movie.
so train of thought's what led me there. Welcome to America, guys. Here we go. But yeah,
Yeah, my train of thought just did a return because I don't remember where it was about to do something. Then you start talking about Inside Out, and that was good.
yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So, what really I enjoyed throughout the whole entire Harry Potter series, especially in the books, that doesn't get drawn out enough in the movies, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, you get the first couple of chapters are usually very formulaic in any of the books. You get Harry's at home with his shitty family.
Yeah. The
and
worst.
The worst. But by the end, he's like, when him and Dudley had the moment.
He's like, he's not coming with us.
Yeah.
Oh man, I cried.
There's a lot of tearjerkers in that last book. Oh,
They didn't do, and the movie didn't spend enough time on that.
Right. And I think, which was a shame, I think, because all those actors were so good. His uncle is such a shitty dude. His mom's sister, his aunt, is so awful to him.
Yeah.
And they are so good at portraying shitty people in the movie. And, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm hearing
Whoa. Yeah. I'm just not hearing. No. Yeah, there's a little noise.
Well, I've got the headphones cranked, so
That could be it. Is that better?
I mean, if we come down here, I just want to be able to like,
I see. Yeah.
you know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Technical stuff.
But Vernon and what is it? This is Petunia
Petunia, yeah.
and Dudley.
Young Dudley, whose name is Harry in real life.
And he was really good in
Buster Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs. When I was sitting there watching him, I'm like, who is this guy?
It took me a minute.
It took me a little while, and I was
Yeah.
like, his face looks so familiar.
Alicia was the one that pointed out at trivia that night. And was
Yeah.
like, fuck, that's right. That's who he is.
Yeah, and when he got real fit,
Yeah.
and he just looks like a kind of normal, good-looking dude, and you wouldn't think that from his just a little porker. He turns him into a pig like how many times? I don't know. Like I think just the once he gets turned into a pig, but he's always grabbing his ass afterwards because he's scared someone's going to turn him into a pig again.
And they left out in the movie about how they had to go to the doctor to have the tail removed, and it was awfully like how did they had to explain it like.
And I get that because in a movie you only got so much time.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But they also spent good money on these actors.
Yep.
Anyway, they were all really good at being a shitty family. I felt like they could have been a shittier family for more. Like they weren't even in the fourth movie. Like that scene in the fourth book where the Weasleys come through the living room, and they're trying to like give them tea, like serving them tea, and the tea's like bumping the Dursleys in the head, and like Dudley's just holding his butt the whole time because he thinks something's gonna happen, and then the twins swap them. They put the shit, and his tongue gets huge, and the dad has to stay behind and fix it while they take the they take the thing to the burrow.
They just, the way they did that in the movie was probably much quicker.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of funny stuff that was left out. I thought that the twins deserved more in the movies.
Yeah. Although I do love the twins in the movies, the way they kind of sound like Ringo Starr or something.
Yeah.
I love their accent. Oh,
oh, she's done nothing but talk about Harry. All summer.
They crack me up. I don't know what accent that is, but I just know it sounds like Ringo Starr.
Yeah. They did really good. They were probably, man, that was probably the one that hit me hardest as far as like the one like outside of Dumbledore.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about them. They aren't really a big piece of the first book or movie.
Yeah, they were just introduced as the people who were on the Quidditch team when Harry got chosen to be Seeker.
Right. And they they kind of take Harry under their wing.
Yeah, but you'll turn back up in a week or two.
Percy is more of a thing in the first couple of movies.
Yeah, and he was so set apart from everybody else, all the other Weasleys. And which is funny is that even throughout the whole thing, you don't understand that he's still part of this family, and they all live in the Burrow together.
Right.
But he is so away from everybody else that you don't even see him in the movies at the Burrow until the house is on fire. And then in the, what was it, the fifth book, the sixth book?
The sixth book, the sixth movie, I think, is where...
It was Half-Blood. It was Half-Blood Prince, I think.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden the Burrow's on fire, and then it pans back to the Burrow and Molly.
Yeah.
And then Percy standing outside, like, oh God, he still lives at the Burrow.
Right. I'm trying to think which movie that was, because I do think it's the sixth one, because what's-her-face?
Bella.
Bellatrix is taunting him out, and then him and Ginny end up running through the fire, and I'm like, you dumbasses.
And I was going to ask you this because you probably know. Ginny, I think, was the first Weasley outside of Molly Weasley to speak to Harry in the movie. Good luck. She wished him good luck before he was going to get on the platform. So he spoke. Ginny spoke to him before.
You might be right.
Before Ron did.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was foreshadowing. I don't know if they knew.
She might have.
I'm sure she knew.
And it's unclear to me how much editors of those books play in the roles of those kind of things, tying some stuff together, on rewrites and whatnot.
For sure.
I'd be interested to know that relationship, because obviously she created this cool-ass world with all these amazing characters.
Oh, yeah.
But some of the little things that are left behind, I wonder if some editor's not like, oh, you should bring this back up. This would be neat.
Yeah.
Or, Or if she had every little thing planned out from the beginning, either two. I don't know.
Well, I do know that.
It seems tough.
Spoilers. I do know that she did tell Alan Rickman his involvement from day one. Like from the first movie, she told him the end, her end game for him.
Right.
And after you find that out and after you see that, you can go back and watch all of the videos and you're like, wow, this is tough love, but it's love.
Yep. They did a good knowing that. The montage in the 8th one of him with him.
God, dude.
That's a sniffle inducer.
Bro. I mean, right now I'm feeling it, dude. I have Snape's wand. Like it was a big deal. They went to Blair and all of them went to Disney World and went to Harry Potter World, and she brought me back Snape's wand.
That's awesome.
And that
place is awesome too.
I haven't been.
You should go for sure.
I'm planning to go soon, but I just can't. I can't validate mentally spending that kind of dollars on something like that in this point in my life.
You got to treat yourself every once in a while.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2019.
Oh, man. Gosh, that's the reboot we need in the world. By the way, off subject, but I watched a rerun of Steve Carell's Saturday Night Live was on last night.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, when all the Office people... Did you watch it last night?
It was on when we were at Causeway.
Yeah.
And the volume was off, but I was like, oh, my God. It's Ed. Oh, it's Jim.
Was that the first time you had seen it?
Yeah.
Dude.
When they all start popping up, I didn't hear what they were asking, but it felt like, everyone was...
It was, so since you didn't hear it, but you did see it, they said, so it is with complete and utter happiness that I officially announce to you that we have a great show for you tonight on Saturday Night Live. And it was like, don't do me like this, man. You've got them all there. Just tell us you're going to do a reboot or at least a Christmas special.
And then I saw his wife is up in the...
Yeah.
And they were like, we're not going to watch this.
What, you're not going to stay? No.
No. Carol.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. But...
That's a whole couple episodes too.
Yeah, for sure. But treat yourself to going to Disney World is a thing that I need to do for sure. And I will one day. It's just the kind of thing to where right now I'm in a rebuilding phase of my life.
Yeah.
I'm the 2016 Atlanta Braves.
All right. Yeah. All right.
You know, we're gonna win the division soon, but it's not happened just quite yet.
Okay.
So
okay. It's gonna take a little time and some work.
Take a little time, build up the funds a little bit to do that. But that's definitely going to be a thing that's going to happen. So, but the whole Snape situation, Snape from the first movie was always my favorite character. He was always my favorite character, and I don't know why, but I sort of felt like somebody this bad
can't be
that bad.
Yeah, it's too
obvious.
Yeah, so...
Especially seeing as how they made poor, unassuming Professor Quirrell...
The bad guy.
Yeah.
Right. And, yeah, that was great. Because in the first... Harry is diligently taking notes.
Yeah.
And Snape thinks he's fucking around. And he's, like, writing down exactly what Snape is saying, like, verbatim.
Yeah.
And Snape's just like, hey... What's a Bezoar? And he's like, and Hermione's like,
I know this.
She knows fucking every question. And I think he actually reads the book. In the book, I think he has read through all the books because he's like, why wouldn't I read through all the... I'm a wizard. I'm going to read all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he doesn't remember everything from every page of every book.
Yeah, exactly.
Who does? And he didn't understand probably most of it anyway. So he gets there, and Snape's just like, you're going to have to work a little harder. You can't just get by on your fucking celebrity status.
Yeah, exactly.
You little shit.
To not pay attention.
God, I miss Alan Rickman.
Me too. Dude, I cried. Like, I went to Bubba's, and I can't remember who was working, but I was literally like with tears, like legitimate tears in my eyes, telling people that Professor Snape passed away, and I called him Snape. I'd never after he played that, because I was the biggest fan of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, by the way.
Yeah,
Biggest fan of that ever. And
was he?
He was the sheriff.
He was the sheriff.
Yeah.
Who was the Prince Richard or whoever? Who was above him? Because someone was above him, right? And he was just the sheriff.
Well,
or was he at the top, and then the sheriff was like? I'm pretty sure there's someone over the sheriff.
There was. I can't remember who it was. Who was that? But that's beside the point.
King Richard comes back at the end. There's like a
Prince John.
Prince John.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a Prince John and there's the sheriff.
Like Robin Hood, man. Disney.
Is he Prince John or is he the sheriff?
I'm pretty sure he was the sheriff of Nottingham.
And then whoever played the other one kind of reminds me of him anyway. So I get them mixed up. But
yeah. Consider like a Willem Dafoe or somebody like that.
Yeah. Well, everyone's British except for Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And Morgan Freeman.
But he gets a pass, but he's like Arabic in the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know,
he had the big Alibaba sword.
Mm-hmm. And he saved him from the jail from the Crusades.
Yeah.
And so I think he thought he owed him a life debt.
Yeah. Side note, have you watched the new one?
I have not watched the new one, and I was just wondering, that character is not in the cartoon, right?
Which one?
Morgan Freeman's character.
Oh, no. In the movie, it's just like Little John, Friar Tuck.
But that character is in Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Yes.
And it's Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
Achoo.
Achoo. What? Am I thinking of Hot Shots? That was David Allen Greer. Right?
Hey, Blinken. Did you just say Abe Lincoln? No, I didn't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken.
Spoilers. Side note.
Okay. So, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, that one hit me hard, man, because I always loved Prince of Thieves, and I wanted to associate. Like, I was like, oh, this guy, I hate this guy. But then he ended up being my favorite person from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And it sort of validated all of the, like, Hans Gruber badness and the Sheriff of Nottingham, because he never played a good guy.
Yeah, no. This might make some women think less of me, but I've never watched Love Actually, but I think he's in that.
I've never watched Love Actually either.
Okay.
What is that?
Women seem to love it. It's like a Christmas movie, and it's like every famous British actor is in it, like McGonagall, Snape,
Hugh Jackman.
He's Australian.
So that's what I said.
But I don't think he's in that. Hugh Grant's in there, but there's a lot of the.
That's what I meant to say.
Slughorn's in it.
Harry.
That guy just seems like he's drunk the whole time.
Harry, my boy. He does seem drunk the whole time. Merlin's bed. That's probably my favorite. Like, if I had to pick a favorite scene from all of the movies, the one where they go, like, he apparates, and it's like, we've just apparated, haven't we? Indeed, very successfully, I might add. Most people vomit upon the first. It's like, I can't imagine why. But he's like, that scene where he finally figures, like, walks into the house, and
everything looks like someone's been murdered there.
And he's like,
blood from the ceiling.
And Dumbledore knows immediately. Just because he's Dumbledore. And
he worked extensively with Dragon's Blood. If you remember his card, I think that they read on the train, he gets the Dumbledore card.
In the very first one.
And it talks about his work with Dragon Blood and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's right. You guys said it. And you're in the movie called The Sorcerer's Stone or The Philosopher's Stone. And you just said it in the first 10 minutes, and you can't fucking figure it out for the next 120 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in the card.
You said that you haven't seen the new Fantastic Beasts yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to watch it now.
Okay. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not something like that. But it's there's it's good.
Something that I wouldn't say has ruined movies for me, or books.
Memes.
No, it's this principle in writing in movies called Chekhov's gun. Have you ever heard of that? It's not Chekhov from Star Trek. It's some writer. And he said, you won't introduce a gun in the first act unless someone's supposed to use it, like in the final act. Like, you won't bring something up unless it's going to get used. So, you know, it's like...
Usually movies end and begin with the same scene in a way.
Yeah, or, you know, they find something and it seems unimportant. It's like, well, that'll be the key to everything later. Cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, doesn't ruin it, but it just, like, I feel like I'm analyzing a lot of stuff as I'm watching it. I feel like I'm going to do that a lot for that Fantastic Beasts.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff.
There's some holes in that.
Well, most of the holes are from the Dumbledore character. And it's like, at what point do you stop dressing like a person?
Right. And I told you, it's because he got a +10 wisdom robe.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take it off anymore. So he had to wear the robe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited for you to watch it for just callbacks to the original books. Because in the first Fantastic Beasts, there wasn't a whole lot of references to things that were hugely relevant in the Harry Potter books. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, right. The only thing is there's Newt Scamander or whatever. Like, I hate saying his name because I feel like I'm always saying it wrong. But he wrote the book that a lot of them use, and I think they referenced the book a number of times. I didn't bring it today. I brought
The Tales of Beedle the Bard.
I brought Quidditch Through the Ages by Kenilworthy Wisp. It's a property of Hogwarts Library.
How'd you get it?
And
then
shit.
Stole it. But so
Snape.
Going back to Snape being so hard on Harry, I knew that there was no way that he could have been that bad. The way that they were trying to depict him like that.
Yep.
It was one of the things, like you said, the ruins movies where you're like something in the beginning, like they were trying too hard to make me not like this guy.
Right, exactly.
And I didn't buy into it. I don't like to buy. I don't do shit people like me to do. If you want me to be mad at him, I'm not going to do that.
Right. And they do that every book for 6 books. They make it like Harry's just obsessed with the idea that Snape is behind it. And when he finds out he's a Death Eater, spoiler, he's like, well, of course he's bad. He's like, Dumbledore, you can't actually trust this guy, right?
Yeah.
And Dumbledore's like, no, I can't.
That's the thing. If Dumbledore trusts you, like that was the part of where who was it, Lupin?
Yeah.
If Dumbledore trusts him, I trust him. When him and or was it Sirius that said that?
It was one of the two for sure.
Yeah.
In the
they were always
they were pretty close together with their whole. But man, there was some line that was really foreshadowing, and it was unintentionally foreshadowing about how. I think Lupin or Sirius said, we'll be a family again, like normal family type thing. And it's like, well, yeah, because you're all going to be dead just like his fucking parents. Like his normal family.
Was that in The Prisoner of Azkaban when they were talking and they went back to that moment later and then Harry was telling Hermione, see what he's telling me right there? He's telling me that, I can come live with him and we can be like a normal family.
Kind of, yeah. It was just, something was like a little dark about all that.
Gosh, that was the best movie. That's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dwight from The Office, that's the only Harry Potter book he wants to bring with him to the desert island.
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
They're playing Desert Island. He's like, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's... Nope, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, without a doubt, that's my desert island movie.
Yeah.
And another book, Haul It Out, with all the instruments I would need to survive on a desert island.
Dude, Dwight's so good, man. Speaking of Dwight, side note, I watched The Meg.
I have not watched The Meg yet.
It's just like you'd think it would be.
Just a goofy Jaws movie. Like
Yeah.
Jaws, but goofier and more outlandish.
Yeah, like they spent all of their money on the beach scene.
Okay.
Everything else was just,
A boat in the water.
basically. So, yeah, Dwight was in that, which is the only reason I reference it. But,
Makes sense.
yeah, so The Prisoner of Azkaban would have to be my favorite one just because that was the time in which Harry realized that he actually had family.
Yeah.
Like, not the like technically blood related family that he was living with for so long that was just awful fucking people.
Right.
But somebody who was on his side, like who knew his parents and were like his parents, and
They never said. I was kind of upset that they didn't say what happened with his family in the end of the book with the Dursleys.
oh yeah,
Because he doesn't obliviate them. They just take them off. And Hermione just obliviates her parents, like,
yeah,
I was never your daughter, and bye. And it's like, bye. And Harry doesn't do that to his family, even though maybe it's more dangerous if they catch them. I don't know. Because I feel like he would go after his family. But they just kind of went off, and that was that. And my other point being that, like, once I think they're under the protection from the Ministry, but then the Ministry gets all broken into and infiltrated and taken over by the Death Eaters, and so it's like, well, where the fuck is his family then?
yeah. I never really thought about that.
I didn't either. I think it's just like no one cares about his fucking family anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think anybody gave a shit that.
Yeah, it could have been used.
They were just so different, and Harry really didn't care. He was just trying to get away from them the whole time anyway.
Yeah, but they had that little moment of redemption. It's like, well, what's the point of the redemption if they just go off and you never talk about them again?
And that's definitely something that's more obvious in the books, because in the movies they kind of just
the
like
movie
you
just
said,
bye, but Dudley's like, he's not coming with us.
Yeah.
What the hell? This guy's out here trying to kill people. He's not going to come with us and get protected.
Yeah. Like, it's not safe.
And then he
how he's not coming? It's not safe here for us.
And then he's like, 7 years ago, that's different.
Oh no, that was right.
That was right. Okay.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Just what he said. But another thing, when you said that a while ago about them being such great actors, I remember, I don't know who it was. I watched some interview with somebody who was on set, and they were talking about just being so sad that they weren't going to be able to listen to Uncle Vernon just tell stories, because they were like on the set. He would always just have a circle of people around him at all time, and he would just tell these most awesome stories you've ever heard.
Yeah, I think that guy was in a lot of stuff before that.
Yeah.
Boy, did he get big though! Like by the fifth or sixth movie, it was like.
Man, when he turns around eating that ice cream, it's just like, bro, dude, what happened?
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
He's just, but see, that's the whole thing. Is like,
he had like my gut on his chin.
Yeah, dude, listen, do you never see and big people in movies play two roles, either the king from The Hobbit.
The king from The Hobbit. Okay.
You know the guy, the king of Lake Town in The Hobbit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They either play that role, or the Vernon Dursley role, or they play Dursley role, or they play the Hagrid role. They either play the lovable or the hated.
Yeah.
Rarely ever do they step outside of those two roles.
Yeah, unless there's a movie centered around them, which in that case they're the comedic role. They're Kevin.
Your Farleys and
your Farleys and
yes,
Kevin,
that's true.
What's the guy's name?
James.
James. There you
Kevin
go.
James.
Paul Blart.
He's actually really funny.
Yeah, he is really funny.
His stand-ups are good. Joe Rogan speaks very highly. He says that he can fight very well too. Like he was apparently a mixed martial arts guy for a while.
I could see that. I watched a lot of King of Queens.
Leah Remini.
I did not like the way it ended,
I didn't watch the whole thing.
but yeah, she's hot. And then Patton Oswalt's on that.
Yep.
He's also fucking hilarious.
Love Patton
I love
Oswalt.
his stand-up. I love everything he does. I just started watching that movie show Happy with
Is it like the documentary kind of thing?
no, it's a show about Christopher Maloney. Isn't that the guy from SVU?
Never watched SVU.
Do you watch American Hot American Summer?
Yes.
He's the cook.
Oh, the
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, I know that guy. Okay. He was also in King of Queens. I think. Was he another driver? One of the other drivers?
No.
Or not King of Queens, maybe Drew Carey show.
He could have been in the Drew Carey show.
I think he was in Drew Carey show.
It's been a while since I've watched that, but not Oswald.
Yeah.
That's not who I'm talking about.
Not Patton Oswalt.
Oh, yeah, and not, sorry, Oswald from the Drew Carey show, who is Diedrich Bader.
With the
Jethro from
with the Brillo hair.
Yeah, with the Brillo hair.
Okay, that's the guy I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll show you a picture of him later.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in
Doesn't
Law and
matter.
Order SVU, and he's solving some crimes or whatever. He's like this disgraced New York detective, and then this little unicorn shows up when he's like got some morphine in him, and he thinks he's hallucinating, and it's like this little unicorn named Happy that's voiced by Patton Oswalt, and it's pretty good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a series. It was on Sci-Fi. It's still going on. It's based off a comic book that I never read or anything. I just turned it on and I was like, okay, let's give this a shot. And it's pretty good.
Huh. That's I started watching the show called You last night on Netflix.
Oh, I heard everyone's, I guess, talking about that. I don't know if I want to watch a show that's just like Swim Fan for a whole Swim. Just like there's a stalker guy, right?
Yeah, dude, it's. I'm not gonna
Intense?
lie, it made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and I can only imagine how it makes a girl feel to watch it, but it made me as a guy feel very, very uncomfortable to watch. Like,
Okay.
like wow, this is just like, I've done so many episodes on like just over, and I'm very over. I will overcorrect a thing before it happens in my own life to where I'm just like,
Example.
I'm not going to, being a guy who does not drink, I'm not gonna try to hook up with a drunk girl.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so I'm not gonna do those things, and I'll wanting to make sure that I even if I have a girl over, I want to be as respectful and as courteous as absolutely possible.
I believe I heard you cover some of this in a previous episode, which
Yes.
you should link to at this point in the
Yes,
video. When you,
I will put a card on for this episode.
and that episode was
The
about,
respect women or bad karma talk, I think.
it might have been that, I'm thinking it was about something specific, and you started.
There was a person, there was a girl who called me over and I was like already involved in this situation, but I think I killed the mojo by just asking if it was okay to do whatever it was, just too much, but Is that the thing?
It was like, oh, I know what it was. It was the episode. It was only about a month or so ago about Baby
Cheers.
It's Cold Outside.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah. And about the struggle between, does the girl actually want you to go for it or not? Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that. But
So that's what I was referencing. And you can click on it right here.
yeah, it's gonna pop up right there too. By the way, I can
Awesome.
do that. I have the ability to do that. That's one of the other little tricks I've learned. Adding cards, but
Anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, I watching that show, just feeling like, okay, so this is this is the sort of thing that girls have to fear these days.
Dude. Yeah, that makes me not want to watch it, but I'll give it a watch.
You kind of have to just now that I've said that, just so I'm not, so we can talk about it.
That's true.
So we can talk about it. But
and I did finish The Magicians, which starts next week. I think the new series.
do you watch all everything that's on Netflix?
Yeah, I watched everything.
Or everything that's on
everything
Sci-Fi
that's available.
Okay,
all
I'm not
caught up.
quite caught up yet.
Okay.
I think I'm still.
Everything on Netflix is everything until this new season starts. So Netflix has everything right now.
Okay, see, I haven't watched. I think the last thing I saw was.
Which is also an awesome little book where they reference Harry Potter a lot.
Oh yeah, dude, Fillory, the whole thing about.
It was pretty great.
The last thing that I saw, I think, was the Woods guy, the Woodlands guy that is just he's just fucks whoever comes around. Mm-hmm. That was the last episode I think I watched where they're trying to pass through the woods, but this dude is just fucking them. Or the
Was that Ember? Or they get his...
Oh no.
Okay, past that.
No, past that. This is like they were already dead.
Okay.
The brother's already dead.
Oh, okay. So that was like... So you must be in the third season.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm just not caught completely up.
Where's the Woods guy trying to...
There's like this where they're trying to pass through this realm or something like that, and I think that you have to, or he seduces somebody in the woods or something like that, and that's just his game is what he does. I could be totally explaining this wrong. So.
That's okay.
But yes, they do. Like that's the one thing I like that got me about Magicians was they were like referencing Harry Potter so much. Like this is not. No, what do you think? This is some kind of Harry Potter shit. Like this is not a movie. This is real magic or whatever.
Yeah, and they reference I think in the books a pretty good bit of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
There's books on the Magicians.
Oh yeah, it's a 3-part series. Yeah,
Didn't know that.
I didn't read it. Well, when I was in law school, one of my friends was reading it and started reading it. Said, "You probably like this. It's very self-referential, but it's a lot from Quentin's point of view. So
Yeah.
you see where it's like he's really, really whiny in the books, and it's like, but get over it because it's like a good series. And that dude has a twin brother who writes the stories for all these popular video games. And they have another brother who's like a famous sculptor. What a fucking power family there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they really are kind of taking the whole like from everywhere. You know, you're running the whole game.
Yeah.
Like by the end, they're going to be sculpting video game stories with
Could be, man.
whiny.
Yeah, the author, his name's Lev Grossman. And then his brother's some other Grossmans, and then but his the sculptor ones, his name's like Hebshadiah, or it's something crazy. What is it? His name was so singular. I like to say that. Sherlock says it for
Singular?
unique. Yeah, singular.
Singular.
It's very unique.
Slingular.
Yeah.
Sherlock was. I think I've never watched a show that made it to the top 10 all time on my list as quick as Sherlock did.
I love that one, and I watched all of them, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Multiple times.
Every time, if I ever need to, like, cry real quick, I'll just watch that Best
wedding
Man
episode?
speech. Yeah, that Best Man speech.
God, dude. Every single time. And yeah, I told you this. As soon as it was over, I had to go watch The Hobbit. Immediately.
Yeah.
Just to see them back. You can even see it when he's in the castle in like the second one, I think.
Yeah, they start talking in the second one, I think.
That whole dialogue between the two. Barrel Rider, and he's just like, well, you know, it's just so matter of fact. I was like, I can just see them in Baker Street, just going back and forth.
Yeah, they have really good chemistry. I'm excited.
Really good.
I'm excited for. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the last series, but I mean, I watched it all, enjoyed it all,
Yeah.
but it wasn't quite the same as the first series. But I don't know. It's
Do you mean
getting a
The
little-
Hobbit?
Oh, yeah, The Hobbit. I just liked the first movie because it was a little closer to the source material, and it's one of my favorite books ever.
Yeah.
I got it by my bed all the time. It's a quick read. It's not that complicated, and they tried to throw in all this other stuff. That's like, I get it. You need, like, women are half the population,
Yeah.
but the guy didn't put any women in this book, except for, like, Bilbo's annoying cousin who tries to take over his house at the end.
Sackville Baggins.
The Sackville Baggins.
Those
Yeah.
shitheads.
And to throw in that elf woman and Legolas and stuff, I was like, that's a little much. I mean,
Because they
there's
were
nothing-
not in the
nothing
book at
close
all.
to it. I mean, Legolas's dad does capture them in the book, but he's not in the book. Of course, I mean, sure, he would be around.
Yeah.
And maybe he'd be around later in a fight, but I felt like,
That was all fictional, like the Smaug and everything.
yeah. Yeah, no. There was nothing with any woman in that. There's like 4 women in The Lord of the Rings. I'm not saying there shouldn't be more. I'm just saying there weren't.
Yeah.
So when you're just like making up new characters just to throw them in there to attract more of an audience or make a love story, there's no love story in the fucking Hobbit except Gollum loves that fucking ring.
Yes, exactly. That's the only love there is there.
Yeah. That's it.
You know what's funny is, shit. I saw Megan at Tito's the other night, and she suggested a podcast that I listened to of where these
The
girls,
Bechdel cast.
like break down the movie from a feminist standpoint.
Yeah, it's the Bechdel podcast.
And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And she said Patrick hates it because of their Lord of the Rings.
No, I don't hate it. I just feel like doing the Bechdel test, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, the Bechdel
I don't
test is 2 women will have a discussion in a book or a movie or a TV show, and it won't be about a guy.
Okay.
So if they can carry on a conversation about something that's not a dude, then it passes the Bechdel test.
Okay, so yes, that makes a little more sense because she was saying something about
You know the Hobbit's going to fail the Bechdel test because there's not a fucking woman in the Hobbit except for the Sackville Baggins. And in Lord of the Rings, there's like 4 characters that are women and they never meet each other. So you know it's not going to pass
Lady of
it.
the Woods.
And there was some stuff in there, but I really thought, they were coming at it from this enlightened point of view. And sorry that we've gotten way off Harry Potter now, but
Yeah, sorry, but
they had this discussion about like, oh, Frodo and Sam are gay. Like they're so gay for each other. There's so much homoerotic tension in the air.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I didn't see that at all.
I was like, well, first off, when Tolkien wrote these books, men could hug each other and they could kiss each other on the forehead and stuff, and that shit wasn't gay.
There was no,
And they could have these, like, masculinity's gotten to where, like, you can't have this, like, real close man-to-man relationship. And calling these dudes, like, gay and kind of making fun of them is not
That's
helpful.
not very forward at all.
Right. So I was like, well, I just think you're reading it through the wrong lens. If you're reading something from 60 years ago through a today lens, it's different.
Same baby is cold outside reference.
Yes.
Can't
And there was like some specific references in that, right? Like what's in this drink is actually means prove it or
like that means that what's in this drink means that you were convincing me.
yeah.
That means that you were convincing me to.
There was a specific anyway. Some of the lines are taken out of context.
Yeah.
And you have to, I think, contextualize a lot of things to have a meaningful discussion about it. And, there's another discussion that's another useful one to have, I guess, viewing it through a today's lens. But I think you have to give both sides that kind of a...
Absolutely.
I don't know. But the other part being that, like, Harry Potter wouldn't exist without those Lord of the Rings books.
Absolutely.
without the Hobbit, and that's why I love the
Now,
Hobbit so much.
And to sort of segue back into Harry Potter on the same note that we're on right now, have you? And I know you have. You've seen the Harry Potter from the viewpoint of Hermione.
I don't think I have. That's a video.
It's not a video. It's just like the Harry Potter
rewriting?
book titles. If it would have been like Hermione,
No, tell me
Hermione
something.
Granger, and how I saved two of my idiot friends from blah blah blah, or whatever it is. Because if you think about it,
Yeah.
the story doesn't work without Hermione. None of the things work without Hermione. As a matter of fact, after Harry and Ron save Hermione
Yeah.
in the first book from the troll in the
Yep.
bathroom, Hermione saves them every time since then.
Yeah. There could be a couple of little tiny exceptions in there, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
For
For the most part,
yeah, like she figures out there's a
basilisk,
basilisk.
which we haven't even touched Chamber of Secrets yet, by the
No,
way.
not at all. But we've kind of touched on a lot of little things
Yeah.
from there, but yeah, we've barely scratched the surface of the Sorcerer's Stone, really. We started talking about the Alan Rickman scenes.
Yeah.
What are like your big highlight moments from that movie that you remember that, like, you could, if you had to turn it on and watch 5 minutes, what would you spend watching from the first movie?
The part where Hagrid tells Harry that he's a wizard all the way up until he gets his wand. That dialogue from Ollivander's shop makes me cry every fucking time. Just curious. Very curious. I'm sorry, but what's curious? It's curious that you should be destined for this wand when its brother gave you that scar. And just explaining, like, and I loved that was that John Hurt? It doesn't matter, but I think that was John Hurt. Just Ollivander just being so matter of fact about how, because it's he who must not be named did great things.
Right.
Terrible. Yes, but great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, just that is so good. That and whenever he's on the Quidditch field and everybody else is struggling, he just goes up,
Yeah.
and it's just
It's like the only thing he can do better than Hermione in the first one.
yes,
Right?
it's the only thing he does better than everybody.
Right.
It's just so great, and then which comes back into fruition with him in the flying around the room with the broom that.
The key, he's got to catch the key, right? The key
Well, no, I was as a baby when Sirius gave him the broom and he was flying it around the room, which is not in the movies.
right.
But just like this is something that he's always done.
Yep.
That was a
think
beautiful thing.
There was he finds that in this. I think he finds the letter from Sirius to his mom or something in the first one. Like, I hope Harry liked
Yeah.
the broom, or
Yep.
thank you, Sirius, for the broom. Harry's been writing it all around the
Yes,
fucking place.
that's it,
Yeah.
that's it.
And like, because Snape has gone in, he was the first person to go back in that house, and he took all of the, I think, Lily's letters and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's why it's all scattered around, I believe. I think that's kind of not said, but implied.
What's your scene from the first movie?
Let me think here. I really like the dungeon tests that they all pass. Like, once they from
The wizard
from the
chess
dog to the wizard chess. Yeah, and
That was good.
and there was one more they left out in the movie that was in the book, because Ron can't make it after the chess, but then Harry and Hermione keep going. But the next one is all these little vials of poison. Like, which ones are?
Oh, and you have to drink one, and
Yeah, and I think she drinks one that messes herself up, where she can't go on, but
Yeah.
it opens the door for Harry to go on. And then the Mirror of Erised. Although I do like that when he keeps going back for all the Christmas scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him getting the sweater from
Molly Weasley.
yeah,
Just the first thing that his first gift
Yeah.
ever. Like,
yeah, it's so touching.
God, it really is, man.
Molly Weasley's like maybe might be my favorite character from the whole
Not
thing.
my daughter, you
bitch.
bitch.
And I know you've probably seen it. It's one of those things where like there's like that Molly Weasley and the Weasleys have gone through this door so many times, so why would she be telling them all this stuff? Like, it's 9 3/4,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, because she saw Harry and she's being nice and she's saying this stuff out loud because it looks like this little kid with
Has
this
no
owl.
idea.
He has no idea what he's doing.
Too proud to ask.
Yeah, and she's like saying this stuff in hopes that he'll notice, and then I think in the person's imagination that came up with the scenario, like they had to go do it like 3 times until he actually heard him.
Yeah.
She's like, go through the thing, and finally he looks and she's like, finally, it's dumbass. All right,
Yeah.
come on,
Okay,
come on.
kiddo.
Yeah, come on with us.
Oh, it's fine. It's Ron's first time on the platform as well. Good luck. And then Ginny.
And that wouldn't be Ron's first time on the platform because he would have gone to say goodbye to his brothers before then.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah,
It's his first time on the train or whatever, right?
Obviously, you would think because Ginny is there to send off Ron.
Right.
So, I wonder, because everybody immediately, like, whether they know Harry, who he is or not, when they see him, they know who he is.
Right.
Because,
Of his scar.
well, not because of his scar, but you're very like your father. Everybody says he looks just like his dad.
You got your mother's eyes and your father's hair, and
except for the eyes, of course.
you got your mother's eyes. Yeah.
But everybody, well, I wonder if Molly Weasley recognizes who he is.
Yeah, maybe. Because the dad definitely doesn't until the second.
Good Lord.
Good Lord.
Oh, you really? Arthur Weasley might be one of my favorites. Side characters.
Speaking of that, yeah.
Harry, might I have a word?
Have you watched the show Father Brown that's on Netflix?
No, but I've heard that he is.
He's the main character in that.
Yeah.
And he's just like this priest in this little English town who like solves murders, basically, which is a weird premise, but it works really well. But he's like the most enlightened person. He's like if you took a priest from today who didn't molest kids and you brought him back to the 50s and he's like really accepting of gays and he's not racist at all, and he's like the
Just a
super
gem.
enlightened person.
Just a gem.
So he's like, I don't care what you do. Like, I don't. He keeps running into gay characters that'll be like ostracized by the government or even punished, like Tesla was, and then they're like, oh no, you're cool, or I said Tesla, but I meant who's that?
Is it Tesla-like?
Yeah, he's the guy who he cracked the Enigma machine. Alan Turing. There you go.
Yeah,
Boom.
I don't know who that is.
Benedict Cumberbatch played him in the movie, the something. It's a good movie.
Haven't seen it.
But the Enigma machine is in World War II. It's what the Nazis used to send their secret codes.
Okay.
So Turing is this early computer scientist.
Okay.
Who a lot of his theories, how we have computers working. So he makes this machine that basically, can only do so many things because it's not digital, like the zeros and ones going, but he's got like the zeros and ones, but they're actually like dials turning to do all the crazy shit. So he builds this machine.
It's a manual computer.
It's a manual computer, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do like Tesla. I don't know a lot about the other guy, though.
Alan Turing's very interesting, but they ended up like giving him get the gay away medicine, which like fucked him up completely, like screwed his mind
Alex
up.
Jones him. They're putting chemicals in the bottled water, turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, except they're like reverse. You're putting them through like gay
Pray the gay away.
Yeah, pray the gay away.
Pray the
type
gay
stuff.
away.
That used to be the punishment for gay people in England, I guess, was they make it so that you can't get erect anymore, and it's pretty awful.
Yeah, well,
I probably only barely got that right. So
that's fine. We're not scholars here.
yeah,
Well, you are.
kinda.
You're a scholar.
I'm a doctor
You're a doc. Do you have a doctorate?
in jurisprudence. I'm a juris doctor.
It's just doctor.
Yeah, I always make people call me Dr. Hanna. Yeah, that's not true at all. But I mean, the doctor part is, but it's not real. I mean, I didn't write.
We don't make people call you Dr. Hanna, but it's just encouraged. So yeah, so the games to get to the dungeon,
I love
the dungeon
that.
games were great. That mirror of
Erized.
the mirror of Erized was the mirror. Okay, no, I'm confusing this.
Mirror shows you what you most desire.
Now, for some reason, I was just now confusing it with the mirror that they were using to communicate, but that was just a
That was just like a magic mirror. I guess.
FaceTime mirror.
Yeah.
Like, it was a FaceTime mirror.
Yeah. I don't ever think they explained the magic of that mirror, just that it was a two-way. And it
belonged to Sirius.
It belonged to Sirius, so he thought Sirius was looking through it at him, but it was Dumbledore's brother. Then he thought Dumbledore was looking through it, and he thought he could talk to dead people through it.
Yeah.
But
Your stomach is a grumbling.
here he's stupid, though. That's why he needs Hermione.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a whole lot going for him until he found the Half-Blood Prince
Yeah.
book. Like,
He started killing it then.
academically,
Yeah.
he didn't have a lot going for him.
No. I mean, he made good enough grades. I would say he's in the top quarter of his class.
Yeah, but they did make it noteworthy that he needed to study harder and do a little better if he planned on being an Auror.
Right.
So he apparently didn't have great,
But he needed an O.
Yeah, it won't. But he had exceeds expectations.
Oh, that was a newt. The owls are the second one or the first one?
The newly entry. So newts are first. The
Newts
new
are first.
entry wizard.
And then it's outstanding, and then something, and then something, and then
Ordinary wizarding level.
right.
But yeah, you get exceeds expectations or listen to that. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Hunger.
Old Chicago.
When's the? We got about another.
About
hour and 10
another
minutes.
hour and 10 minutes until trivia starts. We should probably get there a little early though, so
Yeah.
that Brother Bill doesn't have to hold down the table.
Yeah.
All by
love
himself.
Brother Bill. T-Bone.
Dude,
T-Bone.
did I get it right though? Who does this look like? Who does this remind you of? Tyler Brown?
Oh, a little
T-Bone?
bit. A little bit.
Who are you thinking?
Yeah, no.
Can we say that on here?
Yeah, sure. No, I found this old picture of Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Because I just watched his old stand-up that just got on Netflix, which was Men Are Pigs, which came out before Home Improvement. But all the shit he's doing is just like...
Was it dirty? Or was it
Oh,
clean?
it was super dirty. And he's talking about, like, bitch slapping his grandma because she won't get out of the damn house with his newborn child. And, like, keeps trying to feed him stuff that no one wants to eat. Here, have this tomato jello. I won't eat this shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, I mean, he's a pretty funny guy.
Dude, there was a story, I don't know who told it. I think it might have been like Jonathan Taylor Thomas or somebody who was like, you know that he still owes me $40 for a bag of cocaine that he made me get for him and he just never paid me. Like that was his thing. Like he was apparently the coke guy.
Well, and I believe he got busted and he ratted out a bunch of people in Michigan for
That slag joker.
and that is where that picture comes from.
Yeah,
that I
his
sent you.
mugshot.
That's his mugshot from getting busted with cocaine, but he flipped on a bunch of people. Anyway, snitches,
Shamed of you, Tim.
Snitches get the highest grossing movie, television show, and book
Of all
of all time in the same week in 1994. Was it 4 or 5? It was 95, I think. That's
Yeah,
when Toy
something like
Story
that.
came out. Was that 95? Toy Story?
I keep forgetting that he is Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
I think that's what No, that was later.
I'm pretty sure that Toy Story,
Toy Story was a little
until
later.
Monsters Inc. came out, I think Toy Story might have been the highest grossing animated film of all time. Toy Story, the series, like all of the Toy Story movies, I think are the highest grossing animated films, like collective films of all time.
95. Yeah.
But yeah,
And they got a fourth one coming out?
yes, which is gonna be great because let's be honest, has there been a bad Pixar film ever?
Yeah, right. I think the only thing is like the little spin-off properties they did with cars have been kind of bad. Like Planes.
I haven't watched those.
Yeah. Like they did that movie Planes.
I've never seen any of Cars movies.
But I think technically the way they did it, it was like a spin-off of Pixar that was doing it. It was just with the Pixar property. And they're like, well, fuck, kids love these movies. They'll go watch some stupid planes talking.
I'll say that anything that John Lasseter does.
Okay.
Anything Lasseter does or Favreau.
Was that, was Wreck-It Ralph Pixar?
I think Wreck-It Ralph might have been DreamWorks.
It's Disney for sure.
Is it? Okay, well, yeah, then it would have been Pixar. Any animated.
Which it is good, but I think the second one was doing good also. So
I haven't seen the second one yet. The Ralph Breaks the Internet.
right.
I haven't seen that one.
But I love, is that John C. Reilly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the best. Now, going back, obviously, not side notes, by the way, all around side notes for everybody. Side notes for your kids. Hide your wife, hide your kids, with side notes for everybody. John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell apparently made a horrible movie.
Yes. I want to go see it because I want to see how, like, I want to know if this is a piece of art and how bad it is, or one of the reviews.
Are they just trying to Napoleon Dynamite it?
No, I don't think so. But it could end up being a cult hit about how bad it is. You know,
I've said a shitload of times. People forget how long, and how many times you had to watch Anchorman before you switched from being like, this is the funniest movie of all time, from wow, this is dumb.
Yeah, and I will say also, I did not like Zoolander on the first watch. Not that that's Will Ferrell, although he's in it.
Same vessel.
I watched it and I was like, this is fucking dumb. I hate it. And then I'm quoting the fuck out of it the next time I watch it.
Yeah.
And same thing with Anchorman. I hated it the first time I watched it, although I was with someone who was real annoying at the time. And then
that'll ruin something for you.
Yeah, I was tired too.
Was it Will?
No.
JK.
Although that fucker is annoying. He'll ruin something. Hey, Will.
Hey!
If he gets a little hint that he's ruining it for you, it makes it even more fun for him to keep ruining it for you.
Yeah.
He's so good at that.
Yeah, he is.
So, but yeah, this movie's got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes now, right? Sherlock and Holmes.
8%?
8%.
Oh, man. Has Rotten Tomatoes been compromised?
Oh, I would say absolutely yes. I almost give more credit to what the audience enjoys.
Yes.
Now, there's something weird about it. I think it's weird. I don't know how it was compromised, but I don't trust it as much.
Nor do I.
It used to be, but now I'll check like 3 different things. Like Metacritic, I guess, does a similar thing. And, just user reviews. There's no like Roger and Ebert anymore.
Yeah, Ebert and Roper. Rogers and Ebert.
That was the first one, right?
The first one.
And then Rogers died, and then it was Ebert and Roper. Like, fuck Roper. Who cares about this guy?
Yeah. Damn it, we won't.
Or is it Siskel and Ebert?
Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up.
I think it was Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and was it though?
Siskel and Ebert. Gonna need a real life
Gene Siskel
here.
And Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert is his name.
There we go. That's why
Gene
I'm saying
Siskel and Roger Ebert.
Okay.
This is why trivia is fun, because I didn't know I knew those guys' names.
And this is what I'm good at doing in trivia, is getting other people to say stuff like that.
Yes. Well, you as well. I know that if somebody at the table knows the answer, I can pull it like somehow pull it out of it. That's a really good thing too.
Yeah. Yep. It's
You do the same thing.
It's like, you know this. I know you know this.
Yeah.
It's this guy who did this, and he was in this and this with this other person.
Yeah, you made me do that with the Silence of the Lambs.
It's like, it's your favorite movie. I know it. So it's this from that. And you're like, yep, that's it.
Well, what's funny is I went over and I watched Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well, that's a great one.
I
love that one.
really like that. Well, obviously because of Benedict Cumberbatch.
He makes a really good little wizard in that.
Yeah, he does.
That whole story, I love that.
That
movie's
like
great.
the whole little very OA kind of things. Did you watch the OA?
Did I watch the OA? I believe I did watch the OA.
You need to watch that again.
Yeah, that's with the spoiler school shooting at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I thought was weird.
Where nobody. But anyway, yes.
They haven't done another series of this. Is it just done?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's an interesting.
Phyllis was in it. I was glad Phyllis did something outside of Inside Out. She was also in Inside Out.
Yeah. Well, she was a big writer on The Office too. Her, Angela, Kelly, and Toby are like the main writers, along with BJ Novak.
Really?
Yeah, they're the main writers of The Office. Yeah.
Huh.
Toby,
I did not know that.
And
Now, is it just like they're credited with being writers, or
no? They started off as the writers, and then they were just like little extras on the show, walking around, and then they kind of got their own little parts, and then the parts ended up being hilarious.
God, Phyllis is just so good.
Yeah.
She's such a good character. Like I want to hang out with Phyllis. Like I bet she'd make good food. She'd be like a great like.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure you just don't want to stay a little longer? We're just having fun.
Was that the one?
No, I'm just like.
No, I was just watching one today where Megan hasn't seen all of The Office, so we're in like the last season, which I don't think is the best, but
Not at all.
The Belschnickel episode was just on, which is pretty good.
Which one?
Belschnickel, where
The Christmas thing?
Dwight puts on his own Christmas thing.
Oh yeah.
Cheer or fear, the Belschnickel is here. Impish or have you been impish or admirable?
Impish.
Oh, so he's like a dirtier Santa Claus. So basically, you're doing naughty or nice. And
Yeah.
no, impish or admirable. Did you make a list? Of course, I made a list.
Did you check it?
Check it more than once because you could have made a mistake. Yes, of course, I check it twice. And then you're gonna find out who's impish or admirable. Yeah.
Jim was so good. Did you watch any of those sidetrack?
Yep.
Did you watch any of those?
Jim, the Tom Clancy things yet? No.
Yeah. Well, the Jack Ryan was really.
I heard it was good,
dude. If you haven't seen that yet, watch it because Jim's a badass in those movies or those things.
And I
Those episodes.
still hadn't seen
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. Yeah.
Quiet Place is very good. Have you seen Bird?
Yeah, we
Box?
talked about that.
Yeah, you watched that one. Quiet Place was that
Yeah. Right.
pretty much. I did buy Quiet Place though, just because I want to support him. He wrote. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he wrote and directed that movie. So
I heard it got good reviews. And
Yeah.
There's his wife in there too, Emily Blunt.
yeah, he did really well. They did really well, and he made that movie for his kids. Like he didn't want his kids to be afraid of things, so he
Interesting.
made a movie for his kids to realize that there was
What were you scared of when you were a little kid that your parents could have made a movie about that would not have made you scared of anymore? I would ask that in a really good way. What was the first thing you remember being scared of?
Clowns.
Clowns. So if they just made it sooner, then you'd have been all fine.
No, that's what did it. It's what. No, actually, I had a birthday party at McDonald's, which was a thing back then. And
In the ball pit.
yeah,
That shit
and
was
they
great.
bring you out a cake with those little letters on it that are, the candy letters that with a little, hardened.
Yeah, almost like a.
It was like a frosting, but just super hardened.
It's like the candy hearts you get at Valentine's.
Yes,
Like kind of like that.
Yeah,
right?
that consistency, like a
Yeah.
super. Yeah,
Oh, I hate that shit.
God, it was awful. But I had one of those, and there's a picture of me and my cousin Sam standing like Sam was my favorite person in the world, and he was the only reason that like, come on, let's take your picture with Ronald McDonald. That's Ronald McDonald right here, and I'm just like crying in the picture, like
Oh man.
I still have it. It's me and Sam and Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald is the only one smiling in this motherfucker because I'm like terrified.
Not about terrified stuff. I guess my biggest thing was always like social anxiety because we got a picture of me with George Brett and someone else from the Royals, and they came to play golf here one week. My dad played
Hell
with
yeah.
George Brett, and I'm a huge Royals fan, even weirdly into the Royals.
Are you still a Royals fan?
Not at all. No. It was like this thing where I'm 5. I'm into the Cards at least, and
Yeah.
I'm
That was the Bo Jackson era.
Bo was my favorite.
Yeah.
And then he was on the Royals for a while, right? And then he went to the A's after that, I think.
Maybe. I know he was definitely Kansas City Royals for a while.
Yeah. But he went somewhere else. But Bo Jackson was one of my favorites. And then
Yeah.
him breaking the bats over his knee was always like, oh yeah.
Well, no, he played for the Raiders. So
And I think maybe it was because he was on the highlights, and my dad said I used to just like sneak through his bedroom and go into the living room to watch Baseball Tonight, like every night when I was like 4, 5, and 6. So I probably saw a lot of that, like highlights of Bo Jackson and whatnot. So here's George Brett, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I'm terrified. So there's a picture of me on my dad's shoulders crying with like George Brett next to him. And I'm like a 6-year-old. I'm just so embarrassing. Same kind of shit.
we have picture evidence of our fears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never that way as a kid. Like the social anxiety came like way later, like recently. As a matter of fact, one of the first memories I have was me sitting in my dad's lap with my dad playing the piano, and me and him singing "There's a Tear in My Beer" or something like that, some random thing. As a matter of fact, my stepmom wrote this story one time on Facebook years ago about how the first time that she met me, she walked into the house and I was sitting in my dad's lap and we were playing the piano, singing. Like the first time she ever saw me, I was playing. I was like, so I've always been a ham.
Gotcha.
I've always been that person, but yeah, it sort of faded away a little bit in.
I used to do shit like that too, though. There's a famous in the family video of me singing like Motown songs in the living room, just like.
But those are your people.
Yeah, exactly.
But those are your
I'm
people.
comfortable with these people, and there's certain. I hated going to new things where I didn't know what was going to happen.
Me too. Right now.
Yeah. I'm way better at it now. Like, me and my brother used to have, like, knock down, drag out fights about who had to call the fucking pizza guy. Like, who's going to call and order this pizza? I'm not calling. I refuse to get on the phone. It's too much pressure to say,
I want pizza.
Yeah. To say, I want a pizza. And you had to explain to them how to get to your house. So we're like...
There wasn't no MapQuest back then.
No. So you had to be like, here's the address. When you turn on the street, it's the 5th house on the left. And then I would get anxiety because, like, a new house would pop up. And I'm like, shit. So wait, I'm in the 6th house on the left yet? And then I'm like, nope, I can't call them. I don't know the number of houses. I don't know what to tell this
I
guy.
can't figure this thing out.
But
yeah, that's really funny that we both have picture evidence of what our biggest fear. And you know what? If my parents would have made, I don't think there's anything my parents could have done to stop that.
no. There were very specific situations where I didn't care, and I would just go up to a pretty lady because it was like a pretty lady.
Yeah.
But if I was being forced into something that I wouldn't 100%, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I get the weirdest anxiety on things that I've never done before. Like, for instance, the night that we had trivia at Carolina Tavern,
right.
and I walk in and it's like everybody looks at you and you're like, you that place where you walk in and you're not a regular and it's
Right.
full of regulars, and all of a sudden everybody in the bar just says like, and it's like, okay, this is weird. I'm not down with this at all.
I got you.
And I have to get out and I have to leave. And it took me like an hour or so to calm down that night. Just
Yeah.
sitting in my house by myself, being like, fuck, I'm such a fucking weirdo that can't even be in a room with people I don't know. Like, what's wrong with you?
And I mean, that ties in perfectly to Harry Potter getting thrown into Hogwarts for the first time. Doesn't know what the fuck to do. All he's got is Ron Weasley by his side.
But he's Harry Potter.
Yeah. People know him, which makes it even worse, maybe.
The boy who lived. How crazy would that have to be? That's like Truman Show
Right.
to the max.
Which I believe is there's like a certain mental thing people have where they actually think they're being watched all the time, and they are on the Truman Show, which is what I feel like whenever I get high. I hate it.
Well, I feel like, not when I get high, but I feel like I always live like I'm being watched or recorded. Like when I'm by myself, I still act as if there's somebody watching me. Like
Yeah.
I always do. I even put that on Facebook the other day. Like, live life like you're always being recorded.
I mean, you probably are, first off. Not like really recorded, but
Yeah, there's
if someone really wanted to, I'm sure they could get a full, one of my more interesting nights, I'll come home, pet my dog,
yeah.
turn on that 70s show, fall asleep watching that 70s show.
That was my Kelso face, by the way.
Oh, that's a great cast of guys. Except that dude got in trouble.
Danny Masterson.
Yeah, and his brother's on Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh,
That's his brother. His little brother. Which I love Malcolm in the Middle.
yeah.
And he's in almost every episode, too, which you don't realize because he's not with the family, but he's
Yeah.
in all the episodes.
Yeah, he screwed up bad.
I don't even know that whole story of what he did. I just know it was something, was it domestic violence? Or was it a creepy intern thing?
I'm not sure the full details on it. Just I've read people's posts
Gotcha.
that I trust. I'm like, okay, so I know this person did some research before they said this thing. Like my sister being one of the people where I'm like, I know my sister knows what's going on, and she's like,
I'd like to read an article on it before commenting, but I
Yeah.
know he did something fucked up.
Yeah.
Because if you
Well-
get kicked off the ranch on Netflix, you probably fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck cares about the ranch on Netflix?
right? I watched.
And how is it in its sixth season or whatever?
What?
Yeah, there's like 6 series of
Are
it.
you serious?
Yeah. I think they only run 6 episodes apiece, but there's like 6 of them now, I swear to God. Just like Fuller House. Like, who's watching Fuller House that much?
How many seasons of Full House?
Like 4 or 5 or 6, I swear. Well, I'll pull it up, but it's too many.
See,
But
that's what's wrong with the world.
But here's the thing: I love Ashton Kutcher,
Yeah, I like
and I love Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's great. Oh, I watched A Star Is Born.
Did not see that. I heard it was super good. Megan won't stop singing that one song.
Baby, it's time to let the old ways die. I played that at a gig the other night. Like I watched that movie and then played it out the next night. And I told the people, I was like, "Hey, I just watched this movie last night. It's really good. I've never tried to play this song before, but it's been stuck in my head ever since. So I'm going to try it and see how it works because that's what I do. I don't I don't practice things. I wait until I get in front of people, and I attempt to play a song, and either it bombs or either it doesn't. So I tried to play that song, and it's really, really good. And it's not a lot. It's only like 2 verses, and the first verse repeats itself at the end. So it's very simple.
This is weird because Google says the ranch has 6 seasons, but it goes 1, 2, 3, 6. So maybe it's just bad at counting.
Yeah, well,
That seems to be 4 to me.
Yeah,
But also Fuller House is at 4. So
I
either
can't
way,
believe that. That's what's wrong with the world. That's what's wrong with the country right now, is that the people are interested in this. And I can't deal with a show that has the piped in laughter.
yeah, those are a little much.
Don't tell me where I'm supposed to laugh. Don't do that. Don't tell me where I'm supposed to laugh. I'll handle that myself, thank you.
Well, now I think Friends was not a live studio audience,
I don't think,
was it?
I don't know, but
Seinfeld, I believe.
Seinfeld was. Now, that's the thing. If it's a live studio audience, I don't mind that.
It's a little
if it's
better,
actual
right?
people, but there's not been a live studio audience show other than Saturday Night Live in years.
Yeah, I mean, nothing on Netflix is a live studio audience.
Nothing.
Oh well,
Norm
except for
Macdonald
like
Live, maybe, but
the just people walking around his set. The Fix and Joel McHale's show.
Yeah, I haven't seen
and
that.
Some of the other just like news shows. I mean, when you actually have an audience.
yeah.
That laugh at your jokes when you make them. That is a little more. I don't know. I don't know why it's better, but it's like you ever watch the Japanese shows? They have a picture of a person in the bottom, and that person laughs or smiles or gets sad or worried, and it's like to show the other people watching the emotions they're supposed to be feeling at the time of
That's
the
too
thing.
much.
It's weird.
That's too much.
It's like a person laughing. It's like, why is this person in the corner like laughing? Because it's an audience member or something? It's like, no, that's just what you're supposed to do.
See, that's the thing. My granddad used to bitch so much. I don't know why y'all watching this mess, all that laughing just piped in. He called it piped in laughter. He said, they just pipe in on that laughing. That ain't funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's true to an extent. You
It
will
is.
just, well, because I actually don't think anyone, like the scientific studies on laughter are funny. Like, they're weird. Like,
Yeah.
laughter is a
No
weird
pun
thing.
intended.
It's like when your brain hears something that's unexpected, one of the responses is to laugh. Like, no other animals laugh except like maybe a chimpanzee.
Yeah,
Kinda.
they don't know what they're doing.
And they don't know what they're doing. Stupid
Stupid.
Stupid ape. But, it's a very social thing.
Yeah.
So your granddad had a point. It's piped in just to make you think they're laughing. This must be funny.
Yeah, it's like, but no, that's just not funny. This is what we should do: is get a sound bar, like a piped in laughter.
I'm gonna download a laugh track app right now.
Yeah, download Laugh Track, and that's that way. Whenever we'll just say things that are totally not relevant, like just start laughing.
Got it.
Just pipe in a laugh track.
We'll see how it sounds.
That's good.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be great.
It's really gonna improve the quality of these episodes.
It really will.
If you want, I'll
especially if we
volunteer.
say something funny.
I'll volunteer my face to put at the bottom of your podcast.
Yeah.
I got a real good sad face. Pretty good.
Well,
worry
I
going.
believe your love of the great Jim Carrey
Oh, Jim Carrey, yeah, Jim Carrey.
your love of the great Jim Carrey has done wonders for your facial expressions.
Oh yeah, I practice them a lot. Fucking works.
Yeah, you do really. You do a good job there. You know, with your facial expressions.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes they're not that great. Sometimes they get But no, guys.
What is it? Is that just a soundboard?
Yeah, it's just a soundboard. It's just a soundboard, okay?
Oh, man, this is fun.
That one went a little too long.
Take that, Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. I mean, let's be fair. Harry Potter is one of the worst books of all time. Come on. Oh, that's fun. Okay.
That is fun.
That's fun.
One of these days, I need to have one of those here, like just a sound bar that I can put here.
Yeah. I'm sure you can get one.
I'm sure
We'll figure it out. We'll
one of
figure
these
it out.
days. We started this episode talking about tricks to the YouTube and video editing and video production and whatnot and all the different things that we can do, and ended up right back where we started because I just said it.
Right. Harry Potter.
Yeah, we lost them. We lost them weeks ago. But I think that to answer our initial question before we started talking about Harry Potter, I think this will be a really good introduction to a deep dive into each of the books.
That sounds good.
So what we could do, and by the way, I want to have this on record. I don't want to limit you or to let you think that I am limiting you to things entertainment wise.
No,
I just really like the banter.
Yeah,
But
same.
obviously we've done really good with talking about things, mostly all shows and movies so far.
Yeah.
Which is just
True.
really good banter.
I really like that. I'll leave the more controversial, political, social commentary stuff whenever Alicia wants to do another episode too, because she brings up good scientific little points in the episodes, and I think it brings a good dynamic rather than too,
I hope somebody's well.
Yeah. Let's see, I got a sound for that. I don't know. Anyway. That guy's gonna. Oh man!
Actually, I was going out, and we're probably going to wrap this up here in a bit because we got to get to trivia or get to the table at least.
Yeah, true.
What I am going to be doing soon is. Oh, Jesus! I just lost my entire train of thought with that.
Oh, we start.
Oh, so I did send a lot of messages out this past week of people who want to trying to get my episodes scheduled for the remainder of the month, and I forgot to text Alicia, and I know that we want to do another episode, and I just slipped my mind, but we're definitely going to do another episode.
Give us a little breakdown of the shows you got lined up for the rest of the month here.
I have.
Oh man, I just wanted to use a drum roll.
Well, on Wednesday.
That's a pretty good drum roll.
On Wednesday, the 16th, Jimmy's going to be here.
Ooh.
Jimmy's going to do another one. Jimmy does movies as well, so we're going to talk about movies. I'll probably talk about a lot of the comic book movies and stuff with him because he's watched a lot of those too.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to do that. And or unless you want to be a part of that episode Wednesday, I don't know what you got going on. But anyway, Jimmy's going to be here Wednesday. And the following Sunday, the 20th, I will have Seth. Seth Scalera is going to be back. And we're going to talk about... Yeah. Tell him, Seth. We're going to... That actually, the 20th, that night is the night of that eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing is I don't think we'll be able to see the eclipse because the moon will be down here by the time it actually starts. Yeah, right. This is great. You just want to come for every episode and do that.
You probably do need a sound oh man.
A producer.
We'll go get one of those yeah, I'll be a producer. That'll be great. I'd love that. We'll go give a radio show. I could definitely do the producing.
So,
all I need is this fucking thing.
In other news, Seth Funderburk also may be coming to do an episode soon. And do you know Seth?
I have not met Seth. But
You've heard his name a lot, though, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Take that, Seth. Seth brought up the fact that there is this local, the local television station.
Oh,
the local TV thing.
Yeah. TV access?
Yeah, local access.
Local access? Yeah. There we go. There we go.
They literally just play the same shows over and over. Like they'll play a 4-hour block of the same episode twice,
Oh, yeah.
basically, and like
They could use
obviously
some more content.
obviously they're lacking in content. So
Well, hell, maybe we could just televise one of these.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe just release like a PG rated version of this show
Oh, that's
for
right.
once a week. And
I mean, I couldn't say, or
but you could say
yeah. I don't. That was
that was the word I was looking for. Anyway, that was perfect.
that was called "Sexy Song."
That was perfect.
There's no. Okay. On that note,
Take that, Benny Hill. All right, guys. Well, any final thoughts on the we still haven't even made it halfway through the first book.
if you haven't read Harry Potter, start with the first one. Just read it.
It's a quick read. You'll do it in a day.
It's a very quick read.
Yep.
And they all tie into one another, but there's no cliffhangers really, except for the 6th book.
Yeah.
5th book, maybe a tiny bit, but not really.
They really do well with tying everything together in
Yeah.
each work, which is good.
I haven't met a person who's read Harry Potter and been like, this sucked. Why did you tell me to read this? So I doubt you'd regret it. It's a good little read. You might get sucked into it, and I apologize for that, but probably if you're listening to this, you already read it. And I think a fun episode, or maybe we could intersperse it a little bit. Talk about some of those weirder fucking tweets that Rowling's been doing lately about like wizards disappearing their feces. Yeah, apparently before plumbing, wizards just used to take a shit all over Hogwarts, but they would just like disappear it once they just like right in the hall. Which
Okay.
I'm glad she had to let us know that that's how wizards used.
Well, you know what? There is in the Bible, which I have also read.
Yeah, I have too. That's a good one.
They tell you, dig a hole, take a shit, cover it up.
And that was around for Harry Potter. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Bible's canon in Harry Potter.
There was I was very, very involved in the Christian church for a very long time, and I used to spend a lot of time at Christian bookstores,
Okay.
like Lifeways and things like that. And I remember there was a book that I saw of Harry Potter in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty much like a way to tie them together
The
to
lessons.
where, to pull the lessons out. Which there was Andy Griffith in the Bible, and there's so many different. There was a whole In the Bible series that would
Yeah.
take secular things and put it in the Bible to where you would and make it more interesting. And my dad, that's just sacrilegious. There's wizards and witches and all the devil stuff. They just doing witchcraft and all that. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, hell Satan. Just kidding.
And it kind of reminds me real quick of when they're putting all the shit in the time capsule in Parks and Recreation, and he wants to put Twilight in there, and you get the atheist stands up and he's like, no, there's overt Christian tones and that can't go in here. And then the religious lady stands up and she's like, no, this is a satanic book with, vampires. And Leslie's like, okay, so it's too Christian and it's not Christian enough.
Hey, Leslie, I make some sleepy time tea. You want some? It's so good. That's another episode we'll do. We'll do a deep dive into Parks and Rec. Actually, the whole Michael Schur world, like The Office and Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Michael Schur is great. I think
I haven't watched The Good Place yet. I think he does that as well, though, right?
I think you're right. There's a tie-in with, I think Dennis Feinstein is in The Good Place. There's a magazine they're reading, and there's an ad for Dennis Feinstein something. on the back. So it's like, oh, okay. These are tied together. All right.
Gosh, he's so good in Big Mouth.
Oh, yeah.
A
And
lot of people probably can't watch Big Mouth because it's just too much.
it's pretty vulgar. But The League also, he's very vulgar.
I hadn't seen The League.
Oh, man. There's just, when I knew I would love his character is when he's arguing with his landlord. The landlord comes in and starts saying, like, where's my cat? You took my cat. And he's like, that's not even your cat. And they start arguing about this cat a little bit, and he's like, fix my fucking toilet. And there's a toilet in his kitchen. He's like, it's been clogged for weeks. And the guy leaves, and he goes, guess what he's going to find in there? His fucking cat. And I'm just like, all right, sold. I love this character. This is so stupid.
Okay, that's good. I'll take that.
And it's very Dennis Feinstein, you know, like, I'm fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Psych!
$0.
Yeah.
What was it, 50 cents? I can't remember, but yeah.
You get nothing. Release the dogs.
You give as much as you get. And I was giving like $25 million, if you know what I mean. All right.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to be doing deep dives into Harry Potter. This is going to be a really cool series that we're going to do within the podcast. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. Audio people, please go to our YouTube page and click subscribe and watch the beginning of the videos just for the extra content that you might not get in the audios. And also, that's right. And for YouTube people, please hang tight for just a second for me to do the intro for the audio folks, and so you can click a bunch of links at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, audio folks. Be good people. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. Peace, bitches. All right, YouTubers, hang tight for just a second. Let's do an intro for you. Hey guys, how you living? Are you doing well? Good, glad to hear that. So in this episode, me and brother Patrick Hanna started talking about Harry Potter. And this is going to be the first of a long series of podcasts that we're going to be doing, because Harry Potter is something that cannot be, there's no way you can cover this in one episode. So that being said, we started talking about Harry Potter and just sort of did an all around why we love Harry Potter and the things that make it special for us, and started a little diving into the first book. But I think we're going to go back and start doing a comparison between books and movies throughout the entire series over the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming at you pretty soon. Also, we did veer off a lot and talk about a lot of other episodes, but that's because I think both of us pretty much have ADD, and I don't think we can help it. So that being said, stay tuned for this Wednesday. Brother Jimmy is going to be coming in talking about a lot of movies and things going on in the world. And Sunday after that, then episode after next will be Brother Seth Scalera is going to be coming in talking about whatever's been going on in the world. We'll probably be talking about some sports, things of the sort. Going to be getting Alicia back in, and Patrick's going to be part of that episode as well, and talking about all sorts of good things. Episode number 100 is Ashley Justice. Ashley Justice will be coming in episode number 100, whichever one that is. The first person who texted me and said, I want to do episode number 100. So that was really cool. We're going to be talking about Counterman. By the way, one of our, I don't know if I can call it a sponsor or not, but it's something that I really do talk about a lot and I'm very happy with. Beauty Counter is, and it's no secret that I'm a good hippie. I like to recycle things, and I like to try to make my carbon footprint as small as possible. And Beauty Counter is very good about doing that and releasing products that does not have any chemicals or any harsh side effects of any sort of cancer-causing chemicals that are in a lot of cleaning products and or skincare products mostly. I just got a really cool box of a lot of cool things that I haven't done an unboxing yet, but there's a lot of really cool products that's sitting right there, cool shit, and a lot of really interesting things that will not harm your body in any way. All natural, and they're mostly makeup, but it's they just released a new line called Counterman, which is a lot of shaving creams and balms and beard oils and body wash and toner pads and all these really cool things. So please definitely look in the beauty counter if you're interested in things like that. That's a very, very natural and organic way to have better skin. That sounded like a sponsor, like spiel. That was really good. I'm proud of myself for that. Anyway, didn't plan that, didn't write it down or nothing. So anyway, that being said, please go to the Facebook page and like the Facebook page, MI Stuff Podcast. Go to the Instagram page and follow us, MI Stuff Podcast on Instagram. Or if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Yonder Wizard, Wizzerd, Wizard, Yonder Wizard. Yonder spelled just like you spell yonder. Also, Twitter, if you want to follow me on Twitter, Kelsey Hudgens on Twitter or MI Stuff Podcast on Twitter. And please go to the YouTube page, which is under my name, Kelsey Hudgens. The profile picture is MI Stuff, but it's under Kelsey Hudgens on YouTube. Please click subscribe. I have gotten 20 subscribers in the last 28 days on my YouTube studio is let me know. So I'm very proud of that, very stoked about that. But please click subscribe, share all the pages. Let's try to get these numbers up so that we can start monetizing this thing a little bit. Not that that's the goal, but it wouldn't hurt. All right. So we're about to go play some trivia. Excuse me, I said win wrong. We're about to go win some trivia at Old Chicago Pizza. Be good people. I love you. Without further ado, episode number 95 of MI Stuff featuring Patrick Hanna. Enjoy, motherfuckers. All right, YouTubers, click the links that I'm going to put at the bottom of the page later. I love you. Be good people. Don't be a shitty person. Tell them, Patrick. Later, guys.